Shabbat Shalom, YouTube. Today we're continuing with our reading. I am again reading out of the scriptures, and we are in Genesis chapter 9. Chapter 10. We're in Genesis chapter 10. This is the fun part where you hear me try and butcher many Hebrew names. So get your coffee, read along, get your Bibles, and have fun. Chapter 10. And this is the genealogy of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the sons were born them after the flood. The sons of Japheth: Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Yawan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Teres. And the sons of Gomer: Ashkenaz, and Rippeth, and Togarma. And the sons of Yawan: Elijah, and Tarshish, and Kittim, and Dodanim. From these, the coastland people of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their clans, into their nations. And the sons of Ham: Cush, and Mitzrayim, and Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush: Seba, and Hawilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah: Sheba, and Denan. And Cush brought forth Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh, and therefore it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh. And the beginning of his reign was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. From that land he went to Ashur, and built Nineveh, and Rehoboth, and Calah, and Resen between Nineveh and Calah, the great city. And Mitzrayim brought forth Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim, and Pathrusim, and Cashluhim, from whom came the Philistines, and Caphtorim, and Canaan brought forth Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arwadite, and the Samarite, and the Hamethite. And afterwards the clans of the Canaanites were spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as you go toward Gerar, as far as Azah, as you go toward Sodom, and Amorah, and Admah, and Seboim, as far as Lasha. These were the sons of Ham according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, in their nations. And also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder children were born. The sons of Shem: Elim, and Esher, and Arpachshad, and Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram: Utz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arpachshad brought forth Shelah, and Shelah brought forth Eber. And to Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Yoktan. And Yoktan brought forth Almadad, and Shalep, and Hatzarmaweth, and Urah, and Hadoram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba. and Ophir, and Hawilah, and Yobab, and all these were sons of Yoktan. And their dwelling place was from Mesha as you go towards Sephar, a mountain of the east. These were the sons of Shem, according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, according to their nations. These were the clans of the sons of Noah, according to their generations, in their nations. And from these the nations were divided on the earth after the flood. These are the begots. I'm sure these were very normal sounding names at the time. But us now, we're struggling. That's the end of chapter 10. It's just genealogy. Frankly, I never remember any of it. It's just weird name, had weird name, had weird name, had weird name, and hey, that name almost sounds familiar. And they had a weird name, and they had a weird name, and they had a weird name, and yeah. Some people are really into the genealogy part. I am not. I'm sure I've said like every one of those names wrong because I don't know how to speak Hebrew. If that is your thing, you might want to do some other research. Watch someone else's video who maybe does speak Hebrew and maybe pronounces them correctly, because I'm sure I butchered every single one. There will be some more, but first, chapter 11. And all the earth had one language and one speech. And it came to be, as they set out from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to each other, "Come, let us make bricks and make them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens, and make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered all over the face of the earth." Then Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And Yahweh said, "Look, they are one people, and all have one language, and that is what they begin to do. And now they are not going to be withheld from doing whatever they plan to do. Come, let us go there and confuse their language, so that they do not understand one another's speech." And Yahweh scattered them from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. This is why its name was called Babel, because there Yahweh confused the language of all the earth, and from there Yahweh scattered them over the face of all the earth. Now, before we finish with more genealogy, I read an interesting article today that in Babylonian area, they had found a tablet with some plans for a temple, and obviously ruins of several temples. One, I guess, is mostly still standing. But there were some ruins and a tablet that showed the plans. And the name of it was Atemenanki. The house, it means the house of the foundation of heaven and earth. And in this article, he theorized that that was the Tower of Babel, that referring to it as, building it up to the heaven had to do with the name of it, and that it was supposed to be a temple to one of Babylonians' gods. And I think he went through who he thought it would be in the article, but I don't remember. I didn't write that down. But it was very interesting. However, the tablet says it was Nebuchadnezzar II's planned, which would throw off the timeline because we are far from Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible. But this author also, author of the article, I don't know if he's like an author, but he theorized that Nebuchadnezzar II was actually rebuilding the one that was destroyed here. It was interesting. I don't know how true it is, but it was an interesting theory. I'm always interested in seeing, evidence of the Bible and stuff. Most people see it as a myth, and it's more like a lesson. You know, don't think you're as good as God. You know, you're not on the same level. You know, because it seems the connotation that is written is that they were building this tower up to heaven to be like, haha, we're as good as you, kind of a feel to it. But it's a very quick little story right in the middle of this genealogy, which kind of seems out of place as well. So, I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to throw that in there. It was an interesting article. All right. Chapter 11, verse 10 is where we're continuing from, and we're back to the genealogy of the wonderful Hebrew names that I can't say. This is the genealogy of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and brought forth Arpachshad 2 years after the flood. And after he brought forth Arpachshad, Shem lived 500 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Arpachshad lived 35 years and brought forth Shelah. And after he brought forth Shelah, Arpachshad lived 403 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Shelah lived 30 years and brought forth Eber. And after he brought forth Eber, Shelah lived 403 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Eber lived 34 years and brought forth Peleg. And after he brought forth Peleg, Eber lived 430 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and brought forth Reu. And after he brought forth Reu, Peleg lived 209 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Reu lived 32 years and brought forth Serug. And after he brought forth Serug, Reu lived 207 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and brought forth Nahor. And after he brought forth Nahor, Serug lived 200 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years and brought forth Terah. And after he brought forth Terah, Nahor lived 119 years and brought forth sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and brought forth Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And this is the genealogy of Terah. Terah brought forth Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran brought forth Lot, which also may sound familiar. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his birth, in Urkazdim. And Abram and Nahor took wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Yiscah. And Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son Abram's wife, and they went out with them from Urkazdim to go to the land of Canaan. And they came to Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah came to be 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. So we've got Lot and we've got Abram finally joining the picture. Chapter 12. And Yahweh said to Abram, "Go yourself out of your land, from your relatives and from your father's house, to a land which I show you, and I shall make you a great nation, and bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I shall bless those who bless you, and curse him who curses you. And in you all the clans of the earth shall be blessed." So Abram left as Yahweh had commanded him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the beings whom they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan. And Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree of Moreh. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land. And Yahweh appeared to Abram and said, "To your seed I give this land." And he built there a slaughter place to Yahweh, who had appeared to him. And from there he moved to the mountain east of Beth-el, and he pitched his tent with Beth-el on the west and Ai on the east. And he built there a slaughter place to Yahweh, and called the name of Yahweh. And Abram set out, continuing toward the south, and a scarcity of food came to be in the land. And Abram went down to Mitzrayim to sojourn there, for the scarcity of food was severe in the land. And it came to be, when he was close to entering Mitzrayim, that he said to Sarai his wife, "See, I know that you are a beautiful woman to look at. And it shall be, when the Mitzrites see you, that they shall say, 'This is his wife,' and they shall kill me, but let you live. Please say you are my sister, so that it shall be well with me for your sake, and my life be spared because of you." And it came to be, when Abram came into Mitzrayim, that the Mitzrites saw the woman, that she was very beautiful. And Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. And he treated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and cattle and male donkeys and male and female servants and female donkeys and camels. But Yahweh plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this you have done to me? Why did you not inform me that she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister? And so I was going to take her for my wife. Look, here is your wife, take her and go." And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. And that is the end of chapter 12. We will definitely be reading a whole lot more about Abram and a little bit more about Lot next week. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you're reading along and maybe learning something new. So have a great day, everybody. May God bless you all. Shalom.